Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a Let's Play and early impressions for Black Trail VR, a game that was released on the Steam store today, April 8th, 2024. It normally retails for $34.99. It's on a release sale 15% off. I received a free Steam key through the Steam Creator Connect program to review this game, and I'm testing it out on the Meta Quest 3 using Link Cable. Now, I played a little bit. I played the first 3 chapters, and now I'm on chapter 4. And you switch between either being a cowboy or being an Indian or native. And let's look at the options real quick. So, graphical settings on an RTX 3080, I'm on high quality. Upscaling on, LOD quality high, anti-aliasing 4 times, and shadows high. Sound, the only thing I've done is I've turned off the subtitles. Gameplay, normal difficulty, tutorial off. I put that, it's on by default, but I turned it off, and vignette off as well. Controls. So initially I was playing with walk, but I actually got stuck in a terrain. I went up the stairs in the saloon, and then when I tried to go down the stairs, I did, and then when I tried to go back up, I couldn't go back up. So I was totally stuck, and I had to reload from the last checkpoint because I just couldn't get out of there. So that's why I have locomotion to boast now. That way I could teleport out of there. I also think teleport's kind of like cheating because you can go so much faster if you teleport. Locomotion direction, sorry. Controller. So a lot of people prefer head camera. I prefer controller. Turn method smooth versus snap turning. Turn speed fast. You can also have degree of turn there. Other than that, though, let's go ahead and let's play. So I did notice an error. By the way, you have to calibrate from controls. You recalibrate your height from there. So if your height is wrong, that's where you do it. Let's go ahead and play. So I did notice an error. If you select seated, you'll actually be standing, and if you select standing, you'll actually be seated.
Grey Oak, our wise chief, warned us the white men acquired the golden disc. I didn't understand that it would cause a massacre. If I wasn't so enraged by what the gunslinger had done, I would be impressed. As I see it, I led my warriors to White Men's Town. It was me, leader of the brave, who was responsible for the death of my kind.
In case you're wondering,
My
these
late
are not
arrival
3D,
meant
these
a
are 2D.
massacre for so many. One of my brothers was barely alive, lying in his own pool of blood. With his last breath, he told me about the white man and the rifled cannon on the Iron Horse. This was no fair fight, while my men were still aiding the wounded on the battlefield. I alone rode after the Iron Horse. It took friends, brothers, husbands, and I believed that I could end this war once and for all. But deep down, I could feel the flame of vengeance coursing through my veins.
So these cinematics are like looking at a big screen in VR, but it's 2D, it's not 3D, which is funny because this little Black Trail logo thing is actually in 3D. But the cinematics are in 2D.
To find that man.
Okay, so I am playing standing. I normally play seated. The reason I'm playing standing is because it's just easier to use melee, and you play as a cowboy or an Indian or native, however you want to call it. And the thing is, so far with the natives in the early chapters, you're throwing things, and it's just harder to do if you're playing seated. It's also harder to get your spear and throw it. Hopefully we'll be able to get some other weapons, but let's go ahead and let's just there we go.
I can use this as a shield.
Oh wow, he got me. Okay. So you see, part of the problem is as a native, you just have to make some pretty difficult shots. You know, it is pretty difficult as a native to make some of these shots. Throwing is not the best, not the easiest. Obviously, as a cowboy, you have your revolver and you have your 6-shooter revolver, and it's just a lot easier to shoot the revolver than to try to throw spears. Now, earlier, as the Indian, as the native, you were using throwing axes, or so now you have a spear. Okay, so I took some damage, no big deal. Okay, I'm back to full health now. I wouldn't worry about him since he's up there. It's kind of hard to make that shot. So, obviously I died, and unfortunately the checkpoint is not generous. You have to start from the very beginning again. We'll try to go faster this time. I might go back and get the shield.
I can use this as a shield.
Man, it's easy to overthrow.
My fight goes on.
Okay, so I only got back to 90, so I must have taken a lot of damage. Oh, wow. Okay, alright. So let's go get the shield. So that we have a fighting chance once we get inside. You do have unlimited spears, and oh, there's another shield there, so... Okay. So I think I was just making it harder than it needed to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and get that shield. Because I think it's too difficult without a shield. So the shield was over here. You do have magnet hands, so even though you're playing standing, you do have a crouch button as well. So even though you play standing, you don't really have to like bend over or anything like that to reach down or anything like that. Now we're gonna get our little drink here. We're pretty much at full health though, so you probably didn't need to do that, but okay, so can we get another shield somewhere? No, doesn't look like it. So we're just gonna have to go in. So we're gonna have to watch out here. Make sure that there's. Is there a shield somewhere? Okay, so there's another. No, there's not a shield there. Gotta be careful here opening the door. Okay. Hopefully we find some alcohol near close by. Man, it's really hard when they're close by. It really is. Like you tend to overshoot when they're nearby. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot harder than it looks.
Feeling better already.
And by the way, alcohol heals both the native and the cowboy as well. So, otherwise, I would say that's not okay. See some clipping there? The enemy clipped through the door. Wow. Oh crap. Hopefully there's some more whiskey nearby. Okay, great. So I see a shield and I see some whiskey over here.
Feeling better already.
So I'm gonna search a little bit just to see if I see anything. I don't think there's anything though. Yeah, there's not. I think there's a shield, that's it. Okay. The shield will come in very handy. I'm at full health, so I don't need to worry about it. So I'm at full health, so I don't need the whiskey. I don't have a shield though. This one's going to be a little dangerous here. I don't like the enemy AI. They're running right towards you. There's not a whole lot of strategy here. I mean, sometimes they stay behind cover, but that's pretty rare. I'm still at 100. I want a shield. There's a shield right here. And the artifact's going to be important because there's like a little radar. As you can see, sometimes I have trouble picking up the shield. Like I miss a lot of the time. Again, the Cowboy is very different. The Cowboy, you have your 6-shooter revolver. And you also have a slow time ability that you get pretty early on. Oh, I got nicked. Let me see if I can get him. So I actually heard him. So that's good. You know, the spatial audio isn't the best, but it's good enough. Oh man, I keep missing the same. There we go. The music isn't bad, but it's not. I'm not sure I would call this Native American music. Is it? Oh man, I got one right in the face. Wow. I got another one right in the face. Is there... I thought I saw a bottle of whiskey. Yeah, it's over here. Okay. We're back to almost full strength. We really need to find a shield. I don't see a shield though.
My fight goes on.
So we're gonna look here. Oh, it doesn't open. So you can't smoke cigarettes, by the way? As both the Native American or the Indian? Let's just keep going then. Oh crap. Oh, come on. I kept missing. I kept trying to get the spear. but I kept getting something else. Okay, well, it's not the worst checkpoint in the world, but it's not the best either. We lost some progress, but it's not too bad. You just gotta time it right. Probably the biggest thing is just getting your spear each time. If you try to grab it, come up empty-handed, that's like a... So there are two shields. Oh, I got him with my first throw. Okay. So since this shield is... We're going to go back and get the one that was 100%. And I just gotta do better at not taking damage. Taking damage in this game is almost lethal. Again, I'm reaching down several times and not getting anything. There we go. I guess I'll stick with this shield. We're at full health, so we don't need to drink. Again, the AI is not the best. Okay, we completed the level. Now we're gonna get the cannon. I guess the second part of the level, or maybe we switch characters. I'm not really sure.
Blinded by rage, I lost count of the number of bodies I left on the Iron Horse. I killed with no guilt, no remorse, and no mercy. But that rifle cannon was nowhere to be found until I reached the last part of the Iron Horse. Then I came face to steel with the beast that slayed my brothers. Before I had a chance to turn it to scrap metal, a sharp pain flooded my head and everything went dark.
So, you do have full locomotion, smooth and snap turning, teleportation as well. I'm not sure if I made it super obvious. Let's look at the options here real quick. So, graphics on my RTX 3080, I'm on high, upscaling on, LOD quality high, anti-aliasing 4 times and shadows high. On my RTX 3080, I'm getting a steady 72 frames per second, the Quest 3 default. And on sound, I turned subtitles off, but otherwise I left it at default. Gameplay, I have normal difficulty, tutorial off, vignette off, and controls. Like I was saying, I have both teleport and walk. The reason for that is because I got stuck in the terrain using walk, so that's why I'm using both. I think I may show a little. I'll try to remind myself to try to show the teleportation. It's kind of like a cheat because with teleport you can move really fast. Locomotion direction controller. A lot of people prefer head based, but I prefer controller. Turn method, smooth turning. I prefer smooth over snap turning. I prefer fast turn speed as well. Although you can choose degree of turn. And so that's it. Let's show the next level. Oh crap. So the one thing I'll say, there we go. Let's go ahead and play. Now there's 10 levels total, and it took me about 90 minutes to get through the first 3 levels, but I was going pretty slow, so keep that in mind.
Just when I thought this crap show couldn't get any worse,
I would
gunshots
say
rang out from the front of the train. Some soldiers went to look. I had a hunch they weren't coming back. The blood-curdling screams and the gunshots that got louder and louder told me I was right. Finally, the shooting stopped. I hid behind a crate and waited for the right opportunity. The door squeaked open. A blood-covered, spear-wielding native entered the wagon. As he was distracted, I knocked him down. Had this man single-handedly defeated all the gunmen with his spears? Another warband appeared on the horizon. I had to figure out how to use the Gatling gun and stop them.
So we're gonna switch characters now to the cowboy, like I predicted. We've been switching so far between the cowboy and the native, or cowboys and Indians, however you want to say it. I was not a big fan of the earlier levels.
Should not stop the train.
That last spear level was actually so you aim like this, which is kind of hard. You see, the animations aren't very good. Those are really bad animations. So that's my problem with this game. This game is overpriced for what it is. This is like a budget shooter, but it's charging premium prices in VR. We don't usually have games that cost this much in VR.
Some of them are sneaking under the barrel. I have to use my revolver. I need to reload. Oh.
So this is a little complicated, I gotta say. I'm not... So, obviously you can do this. And since you have unlimited ammo, you might as well do this in between. You do have the slow time right there. And if I have a shot, I'll... So this is a slow time right here. Now I actually have more problems with the slow time.
I'm out of bullets.
Out of bullets. So I'm gonna add this, then I'm gonna drink a little bit more, and I'm gonna slow time here, and I'm gonna get back to okay, again, I'm gonna quickly reload here. And I'm gonna slow time. And those are all the bullets I have, though. Oh wait. And again, I'm going to quickly reload here. Again. Yeah, that's really the trick there, to use your slow time ability.
There's the fort. We're safe now.
Oh, come on. Okay, we did it. Okay. All right. So, as you can see, you're switching force between the cowboy and the native.
I don't know why I didn't kill the native. Maybe I felt there'd been enough killing for one day. Maybe he could give me answers. Nonetheless, the captain of the Fort Carson was impressed with my work, but he had one concern beyond natives. He heard the story of the cursed mask found in the chest from the soldiers, and he wanted me to bring it to him in his mansion. My tiredness and my belly free from booze left me greedy. I thought this could be my retirement opportunity after all. Leaving my prisoner behind, I headed out for the mines. I was pretty confident that the native wouldn't cause any problems anymore.
So, as you can see, each level you switch weapons. You started off, I want to say it was the axe, the throwing axe, and then it was a 6-shooter revolver, and then it was the javelin, the spear that you throw, and then it was the Gatling gun, and then, well, actually, was it the Gatling gun? I think so, right? The heavy gun, anyways. And I think this next level, if I'm not mistaken, which we'll play a little bit of just to see, but I believe this is going to be bow and arrow, but I might be wrong. We'll see. I think you're going to play as a native because they've been switching back and forth so far.
When I woke up, I heard about their plans and saw the golden disc Grey Elk was talking about. That bounty hunter handed the shiny little piece to the captain. The end was so close, but still out of my grasp. Captain ordered some soldiers to guard me and left for his mansion, taking the relic with him. I almost pitied the guards. This wasn't my first captivity by white men. Picking the cell lock was simple enough. Soon these men playing soldiers would regret leaving a prisoner's bow out in the open.
Yeah, I was right, bow and arrow. I just want to play a little bit with the bow and arrow, then I'll finish this video. I'll let you know my initial impressions, my early impressions. Again, this is not a full review. This game just came out today. The developer did push out an update that fixed some of the bugs that I experienced earlier, so that's good. But my problem with this game is not that it's bad.
I have to get out of here.
It's
There's
not,
a bow I can use.
It's not what I would call a bad game. But in my opinion, it's just too expensive for what it is. It just costs too much. $34.99. You need to see, everything being premium. By the way, you do have throwing knives, but I've yet to use the throwing knife even one time, except during the early game, the tutorial where you use it as like target practice. I just don't see the point. Okay, I think that's it. Can we get anything else? No, I don't think so. All right, well, I want to test out how the bow and arrow feels before I finish my early impressions. I think that's going to make a big... Oh, ooh. Not the best bow and arrow.
Fort won't be easy.
So definitely want to be careful with wasting your bow and arrows. I don't know. Is there any way? No. Once you shoot it, it seems to be gone. Luckily, there seems to be... crap. I thought this guy was dead. Come on. Again, not very realistic there. The enemy AI, not aggressive enough. He was within melee range, but decided to stay just within my shooting range. He should have gotten closer, and he could have probably killed me. So I'm not a big fan of the enemy AI. Oh, wow, look at that shot. Wow, that was a great shot. I'm not so good with killing a moving target. This is very much on the arcade side as far as the bow and arrow. Not the best physics. You know, if you compare it to like something like In Death, it just doesn't feel as good. But it kind of reminds me of Skyrim, and I was able to make some pretty amazing shots. So the problem is that this does get pretty repetitive, and I say that because I played some of the earlier levels, and there was just lots of enemies, but not enough variety. Ah, come on.
Feeling better already.
There's probably more booze back there. Okay. I'm not a big fan of the holsters either. This should be like on the shoulder. I don't know. It just didn't feel right. Wait, I thought I saw some booze. Did I already drink that one?
Feeling better already.
There we go. Anyways, I'm going to end my video here. My early impressions. This is not a bad game, but the problem is it's like a budget price adventure shooter. And it feels too much like a wave shooter. It's just enemies spawn out of everywhere. You shoot a lot of them. And the third level is actually a lot like this, except here you're using a bow and arrow. There you're using your 6-shooter revolver. But it feels very similar. There's just a ton of enemies and you just keep shooting. There's just not a whole lot of dynamic gameplay, and so it gets repetitive really like right now I'm already tired of the level. Even though this is the first level with a bow and arrow, it's just not dynamic enough. The visuals are just okay. Again, I think these visuals are not good for the price. For $34.99, these visuals are not good. These visuals are fine for a budget shooter. So if this game were priced like $14.99, I would be more forgiving. And I question how much content there is, because we're already, I believe, at the 6th level. There's only 10 levels, and we got here pretty quick. So I just don't see the $34.99 value here. As you guys know, I'm pretty forgiving with budget price games. Like if your game is $5 or less, I'm very forgiving in VR. But I compare $5 games to $5 games or less, you know, or 99-cent game to 99-cent game, or $10 games to $10 games, 15, you know, so on and so forth. But when you go past $30, you're at a premium price. So for that, we do expect good story, good voice actors. The story here is just very generic. The voice actors, the voiceovers aren't very good. The gameplay isn't very good. There's just nothing that really stands out here that would justify the $34.99 price, not even close to it. I would say at most, at the very top end, this is $20, but really the right price for something like this would be like $14.99, just because the quality just isn't there. It's not bad. Like, for This reminds me of kind of like 2017 VR, you know, for one of those cheap budget games, but it has a little bit more content than those cheap budget games, but it still feels very budget. You know, there's nothing quality about this. And as such, I just can't recommend this game. If I have to rate it, it's a close call, but I would give it a 4.5 out of 10. I can't even give this a neutral recommendation. As you guys know, I give a lot of 5 out of 10, especially recently. You know, because a lot of the games just aren't very good, but they're usually budget price. So I can say, okay, well, I'll be forgiving for this one. But for this one, I just can't give it a break. I have to judge it with the price that it's set for. And as such, I just cannot recommend this. Like I said, it's not a bad game. If you don't mind paying extra for a VR game just because it's VR, and in PC VR, we haven't had too many good games recently, you might consider purchasing this game. But keep in mind, this is more like a $14.99. Maybe $20 at the top end. You know, if this improves in the later levels, I could see maybe $20. But if it doesn't improve, I would say more $14.99. But yeah, at the $34, there's just no way. For that price, you can get much better games, and I would recommend those games over this one. So I can't recommend it. And anyways, that's my Let's Play early impressions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.